Hi creators, Doro Kiley here with creationcoach.com. Thanks for joining me. Today's question is, if you believe in God, what do you imagine God to be? So this is my view, and it draws on mostly from Eastern philosophies of Asia and India. And so this is about my view. I pull all this together, and it's pretty consistent. So my view is that God is our awareness behind the thoughts. It's not our thoughts, it's not our judgments, it's not our opinions, our belief systems. It's the awareness of all of that. Um, and that's what I call the witness. And I did a talk a while ago, cultivating the witness. It's a non-judgmental awareness, and it's not like we're creating the witness. We're actually getting acquainted with the witness that is there. And that is that point of consciousness, in my view, that is God and is in all of us, is in everything. So the way I understand this is that thoughts and emotions are our personality, it's how we identify, it's our personal little package of values and beliefs and conditionings that we've been raised with. This is our personality, and the witness that's watching this unfold behind our eyes is God. God is not interfering, there's no judgment, there's no opinions, it's just pure witnessing, and it can manifest in any of the chakras. So the personality, let me bring up this image here. I've done this before. This image here shows all of the kind of general emotions and feelings that we can have. And the witness, you could say, is that central rod, is just watching. It's right in the center. It's not this or that. It's just watching everything unfold. So if your personality is a mixture of fear and addiction and love and shame and illusion, I mean, these things are our personality brought on by our thoughts and our conditionings. And the witness behind it is what I would call God. And if you meditate and you are able to get closer to that witness, you can begin to, it will actually help you to gain more perspective. Not to change everything until, well, you can have more power to change or use your willpower once you get above the love and grief aspect of our chakras. But below that, we are almost pretty stuck in just karma running off. These are the lower, you could say, animal realms. All we share these with all animals: the survival, fear, pleasure, willpower, effort. So these are hard to change without tremendous insight. And insight comes as we go higher up in the energy scale here. So what does this tell us? This tells us that until we get to a certain point of inner understanding, we can't really have much control over our emotions. We're just watching them. And to watch them is a you can practice meditation and mindfulness, which is a practice of letting go. So if you're caught in some obsessive cycle of thinking about whatever, I mean, anything, we all have stories, right, that we're kind of stuck to. If you can practice sitting for just 10 minutes a day, for me, I find at least 20 minutes a day is most useful. And that is to see the thoughts coming up and practice letting it go. It's like sticky notes where you have something that you're stuck to. If you meditate, it's like peeling it off, let it go, and it will come back, and you let it go again. And the more you let it go each time, the sticky note gets less sticky, and it just gets easier to let things go. And once you get above the heart chakra, you're able to utilize your free will more consciously, more intentionally. So when you are under stress, when you hear something on the television or the news, or a neighbor tells you some scary, horrible thing, you might feel yourself contract, and that tension will bring you a little bit farther down into these lower chakras. And until you can release it and let it go, as my mother always said, let God do some of it. So you let it go, you give it to God, whatever little sayings can help you to remember to do that. Most religions have a code of conduct also. This is an important thing to recognize. Why are we, dealing with things like the Ten Commandments and the Buddhist codes of conduct and all of these? Most of them, they all say don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't. In Buddhism, there's at least three that don't speak harshly, don't speak, maliciously or uselessly. So there's a lot of codes of conduct, and the purpose for these is to help free your mind of agitations like guilt and anger and revenge, and just to if you're not doing a lot wrong, then there's not a whole lot to worry about usually. Well, at least it makes it a little better. And it could just give you enough leg up to begin to get broader perspective. And the ultimate awakening, once you've let go and let go and let go, you finally realize there's really nothing to hang on to that's really substantially real. And everything can be let go of. And so awakening is like falling out of an airplane, and you scramble and you realize you have no parachute. And then there's panic sets in, and scrambling, and on, and down you go, and grasping and grabbing and flapping and screaming or whatever, until finally you realize you're never going to hit ground. And that's what awakening is. This is just an endless, ongoing process of unfolding. And so once you can relax into this endless stream of just stuff happening and just watching it, you can actually begin to relax into it. And that's when you start to realize that you can do more. You can go this way, or you can go that way, and it becomes a little bit more playful. And then you see others falling and scrambling, you might be able to help, say, just relax. It's okay. We're never going to hit ground. Now, yeah, of course, there's going to be, pain. Pain is not the same as suffering. Two completely different things. Pain comes with the package of having a physical body. All animals feel it. I think they even have studies showing that plants, vegetation, respond to, cutting a leaf that has a reaction we could interpret as pain. Suffering, on the other hand, is a very mental construct. It's a story. It's the story that we add on top of the pain that causes the suffering. It can actually make the pain worse. But it's the story of poor me and all the fear and what if, and so that's the story of suffering. Okay, different from pain. Pain is pain. Pain is like sticking your finger in a light socket. It's just you feel it all over you. It goes up and down your spine. It's pulsing. Whatever pain does, it's just pain. Suffering is different. And I have experienced one meditation I did with a retreat with Stephen Levine back in the 70s, a pain meditation where we basically had to sit on our feet for an hour until our feet were almost numb, and it was extremely painful. And then the meditation, the guided meditation started, and that's Stephen Levine was guiding it. And I was able to understand that pain, physical pain, is not a horrible thing. It's not, in fact, you can just go into a state of euphoria while your whole body is writhing in just electrical shooting pain up and down. And as long as you're not building a story around it, it's just pain. And it's a very interesting experience. I've been able to repeat that experience maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. And it gave me hope that if we can feel the pain without the suffering, then, life is not as bad as we imagine it to be. Especially animals, God has provided these bodies with an ability to kind of go into shock. And I think that just shuts down the brain after a while. You just go into this state of watching. And you hear this a lot. People say, oh, I had a car accident and I was thrown from the car and then I could see, the EMTs, and you're just watching without the big stories causing more and more suffering. So with this, the idea that I understand is to awaken in a way that takes us out of the illusion and out of the suffering, maybe not out of the pain, but the suffering, the mental suffering, and to be the witness of it. And when you become really good at that, and I'm not there, as I say, this is my goal, to become good at that to a point where you become if you're a fearless love warrior, you become a vessel for life to just work through you, rather than always being fearful of losing something or getting something you don't want. So this is a very big talk, and I crammed a lot in here, and it's really just the very tip of the iceberg. It's a great discussion. I really should get somebody on here to have these discussions with me rather than these one-way talks. But anyway, so that's it, and I do hope that this is a little bit helpful, and in the meantime, stay creative.